Today, we're diving into something pretty incredible, the raw power of the human will. We're going to look at these amazing stories of people who faced odds that seemed, well, impossible. People who stared down life-altering injuries and somehow, against all logic, came back even stronger. This isn't just inspiration, folks. This is the science of the impossible comeback. So let's kick things off with a story that just seems to defy all medical science. Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan was brutally attacked. We're talking stabbed multiple times in his neck and back. The injuries were really severe. And yet, get this, just 5 days later, he walked out of the hospital. You just have to ask yourself, how on earth is that possible? I mean, the whole thing seemed unbelievable, and a lot of people just didn't buy it. How could anyone heal from wounds like that fast? It really makes you wonder, right? It forces us to ask a much bigger question. Can our minds actually push our bodies to heal in ways that we just don't think are possible? To even begin to answer that, we need to look at some other stories. And trust me, some of these are even more extreme examples of human resilience. These stories might just hold the key to understanding what's really going on. Okay, first up, let's talk about Bethany Hamilton. When she was just 13 years old, she was this amazing up-and-coming surfer. You know, the kind of kid who basically lived in the ocean. But one morning, while she was just lying on her board waiting for a wave, something absolutely horrific happened. A shark attacked. And in a flash, she lost an entire arm. Now, for most of us, an event like that would mean you'd never go near the ocean again. I mean, the physical and the mental trauma would just be overwhelming. But as you're about to see, Bethany wasn't most people. 30 days. That's the number that's just so hard to wrap your head around. Just 1 month after losing her arm in a shark attack, Bethany Hamilton was back on her surfboard in the water competing. That is an act of mental strength that seems, well, it seems almost superhuman. Okay, now let's switch gears. Imagine a totally different kind of challenge. It's not about surviving a physical attack, but about having to perform at the highest, most elite level after a life-changing injury. So here's the challenge. You've got a cricket ball hurtling towards you at nearly 100 miles an hour. And here's the handicap. You've lost the vision in one of your eyes after a car accident. This was the reality for a 20-year-old aspiring cricketer named Mansoor Ali Khan Patadi. But what he did after the accident, that's what's truly mind-blowing. Just 6 months later, he made his debut for the Indian national team. Now think about that. With only one good eye, he didn't just play, he completely dominated. He went on to become one of the nation's greatest captains ever, and he scored centuries against the fastest bowlers in the world. And then you have the story of Sandeep Singh. Back in 2006, he was this rising star in Indian hockey. Then, a complete freak accident. He's on a train and gets accidentally shot. He was paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors flat out told him he would never play again. They even told him to avoid painkillers, saying it would help him recover faster. So for an entire year, he endured this unimaginable pain, using just a hockey stick as his motivation. 1 year later, he was standing. The year after that, he was back on the national team. And by 2009, he was the man of the tournament. It's just unbelievable. So you hear these stories, and they're so inspiring, but they also make you wonder, are these people just 1 in a billion outliers? Or is there some kind of hidden code in our brains that maybe we can all tap into? Well, that's where the science comes in. So here's the crucial question, right? Is this all just about willpower and having a positive mindset in some vague, inspirational poster kind of way? Or is something physically happening inside the brain that's actually making these comebacks possible? The answer, it turns out, lies in the story of one man's recovery that literally changed neuroscience forever. This is Pedro Bachirita. After a massive stroke, he was left paralyzed, completely dependent on other people. The doctors had totally written him off, saying his condition was permanent. But his family, they just refused to accept that. They worked with him, they pushed him, and they truly believed he could get better. And slowly, miraculously, he did. He learned to walk again, went back to his teaching job, and he even wrote several books. But the real discovery, the thing that changed everything, came after he died. An autopsy on his brain revealed something absolutely astonishing. The part of his brain that controls motor function, you know, the part that allows us to move, was 97% destroyed by the stroke. He had been walking, teaching, and writing with only 3% of that brain region still intact. How is that even possible? Well, this led to a massive breakthrough in understanding a concept called neuroplasticity. It's the brain's incredible ability to adapt and reorganize itself. Think of it like a city's roadmap. If a major highway gets completely blocked, the brain, through intense focus and just doing things over and over, can start redirecting traffic. It strengthens those little side streets until they become new highways. That's neuroplasticity. That's what allowed Patati's brain to remap its visual processing for cricket. It's what let Sandeep Singh's brain find new ways to send signals down to his legs. It's not just a positive mindset. It's a physical rebuilding process that is driven by that mindset. This is the science behind the miracle. And that brings us to our final story. This one might just be the most dramatic example of neuroplasticity and sheer human will coming together to achieve the impossible. It's a story that was truly forged in fire. The date is August 1st, 1976. We're at the German Grand Prix. Formula One champion Niki Lauda is behind the wheel, racing at insane speeds. And then, disaster strikes. His car crashes and just erupts into a massive fireball. He's trapped inside that inferno. He suffers these horrific burns all over his face and body, and even worse, he inhales toxic fumes that severely damage his lungs. His condition was so critical, his chances were so slim, that they actually summoned a priest to his hospital bedside to administer the last rites. By all accounts, this should have been the end of his life, let alone his racing career. But what happened next is the stuff of pure legend. Just 42 days, 6 weeks after being read his last rites, Niki Lauda was back in a Formula One car racing at the Italian Grand Prix. In excruciating pain, with bandages still covering his burns, he didn't just compete, he finished in 4th place. That day, the world saw something really profound. They didn't just see the scars of a horrible accident. No, they saw the physical proof of one man's unbreakable will to do the one thing he was born to do. So from Saif Ali Khan's 5-day recovery to Niki Lauda's 42-day return, we see this powerful pattern. These aren't just random miracles. They're incredible examples of neuroplasticity in action, the brain physically rewiring itself, all driven by an unbreakable will. It really proves that while our bodies definitely have limits, the human mind can often find a way around them. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder. Accidents can break the body, but what, if anything, can truly break the human will?